Today, the family of Patrick Lyoya, the man shot and killed by a Grand Rapids police officer, were in Lansing receiving support from the capital city. It's our top story at 6. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sarah Alsheh. Church leaders held a prayer vigil calling for justice for Patrick. In attendance was Lyoya's mom, his dad, and siblings. They're calling for the Grand Rapids Police Department to release the name of the officer involved, to fire him, and charge him with murder. Nearly 100 people filled the pews of the Epicenter of Worship Church, offering prayers and condolences to the Lyoya family as they mourned the loss of Patrick. Just last week, a routine traffic stop led to Patrick and the officer struggling over a taser. The officer shot Lyoya in the back of the head. The incident sparking protests and prayers, many now rallying around the family to show their support.
Because he has hurt me in the heart. To lose my son, Patrick, my firstborn.
We are not just fighting for Patrick,
but
the long line of families that stand behind this family.
Coming up at 11, 6 News reporter Shamir Owens has more on what the family says they plan to do this week in their continued fight for justice. Protests over Lyoya's death continue in Grand Rapids, and here's a live look at one happening right now. For the 5th day in a row, protesters are calling for justice for Lyoya. We'll have more on this protest tonight at 11. Well, also in Grand Rapids, 3 men are in the hospital with gunshot wounds, and police are trying to figure out how they got there. Now, just before 1 a.m., Grand Rapids police were called for reports of shots fired at an event venue. When officers arrived, they only found employees at the scene and no one injured. However, multiple casings were found in the parking lot, and shortly after, 3 men arrived at the hospital with serious gunshot wounds. GRPD said the injuries are not life-threatening, but no other information has been released on the men. Some breaking news out of South Carolina. 10 people were shot and 2 others were injured at a shopping mall this afternoon. That's according to police in Columbia, South Carolina. 3 people who had firearms have been detained in connection with the shooting at Columbiana Center, according to the Columbia police chief. Authorities said no fatalities have been reported, but that 8 of the victims were taken to the hospital. Of those 8, 2 were in critical condition and 6 were in stable condition. The victims ranged in age from 15 to 73, according to police. And 6 News will continue to follow this breaking story and bring you the latest updates online, on our app, and on air.